I'm making the New York strip steak, simply grilled, just a few minutes, and then I'm going to have a great mushroom cream sauce with some green beans, just slightly sauteed with some fresh tomatoes and roasted garlic mashed potatoes. Hi, I'm Carolyn, and you're watching another episode of Cooking at Home with Carolyn. And today it's all about the New York strip steak. I'm making the New York strip steak, simply grilled, just a few minutes, and then I'm going to have a great mushroom cream sauce with some green beans, just slightly sauteed with some fresh tomatoes and roasted garlic mashed potatoes. Let's get started. Over here, I have 2 New York strip steaks. Okay? Just bought them on sale. Remember, when you see some of your favorite items on sale, buy them then. Get them. You can freeze them, pack them tightly, airtight, so that they'll stay fresh for you when you're ready for them. Then I have some fresh mushrooms that I've already pre-sliced, and I'm going to saute them. And I'm going to get these first because these take pretty much the longest. I have a saute pan over here that I have on about medium heat. Then I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in. Okay. Then I have some butter here that I'm going to get going with the olive oil. The reason why I put the butter with the olive oil is because the olive oil has a higher burning point, where the butter is going to give that great flavor, and it's not going to burn. Okay? So that's why I mixed the two together. Okay? So just going to let that melt a little bit, and then I'm going to put some garlic in there. The reason why I like making steak at home is because sometimes when you go and you order steak out, you'll order your steak well, and that happens too. Phones ring, so just get your garlic chopped and let the phone ring while you're doing your cooking. Let them leave a message. Okay. When you order your steaks out, some people will cringe when you say you want it well or medium well. So, the good thing about when you're making it home, you can have your steak the way you want it. Okay? Everybody doesn't eat rare steak, and that's okay. So I'm just going to get this going for this 1 clove of garlic for the mushrooms. Just 1. Now it is. I'm going to go ahead and dump the mushrooms right in there. Turn the heat up just a little because we're going to put a little cream in them. I'm going to make this sauce creamy. I know it looks like a lot of mushrooms for 2 steaks, but keep in mind that mushrooms shrink. Okay? So you want to start off with quite a few. And these are cremini mushrooms. If you're saying, oh, those look kind of dark, they do. Cremini mushrooms are like a small baby portobello. So they taste much more meaty, and they go really good with steak. What I did earlier, while that's coming up to temperature, is boil the mashed potatoes that we're going to, well, the red skin potatoes for the mashed potatoes that we're going to make. And all I did, this is about 2 pounds of I keep saying mashed potatoes because that's where we're headed. These are 2 pounds of red potatoes, and I diced them up really small. Keep in mind, the smaller you dice them up, the quicker they're going to cook. So I just did a quick dice on them, boiled them in some salted water for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then we're going to mash them up with the roasted garlic. The roasted garlic I did earlier also, just for the sake of time. I took 1 head of garlic, cut it in half, and put some olive oil and salt and pepper on it. Closed it up, put it in a 375-degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, and you get that beautiful garlic that just oozes right out of the skin, and you can put it straight in your mashed potatoes. I'm going to dump the garlic in. Alright. You don't have to salt them right away because you want the mushrooms to brown up a little bit. Now keep in mind too that mushrooms are like sponges, So if you see the oil get sopped up out of the pan, it's not as much in there as you see when you start it, it's okay. Just add a little bit more. Okay? Just a little bit. And today I have to use dried thyme in this sauce because I forgot, yes, to get fresh thyme. The only thing that you have to remember with using dried herbs as opposed to fresh is dried herbs are much more pungent. So keep that in mind when you're using dried herbs. And here's my thyme. So I'm going to put about, let's see, in a pound, about a teaspoon. That's all you need. Just dump that in there. The heat's going to hit the dried herbs. And you're going to have this great smell. Ooh, now I can start to smell the butter. Just toss that around with the garlic and mushrooms. Okay? I'm going to let those sit out for a minute because we're going to pour the cream and salt and pepper them in a minute. Right? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to get the grill hot for the steaks, the New York strip steaks. And while that's happening, I'm going to do the salt and pepper. Real simple. When you have cuts of meat like this, just stay true to the meat. Just salt and pepper. Keep it simple. You don't have to do a whole lot to it. Just going to pepper it. And don't forget to do both sides. When you have cuts of meat like this, do both sides. Some people are forgetting only do one. Now you can hear the mushrooms over there sauteing. Okay, that's enough. We'll wait for our grill to get hot. Let me toss these around one more time. Okay. So add some salt and pepper to these mushrooms. Stir these up. What I'm also going to do is just put a little bit of olive oil on the New York strip steaks, okay? And that's to help them not stick to the grill. I don't want them to stick. So I'm just going to put a little bit. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. Since I don't want to handle the meat too much. And remember, I'm going for medium well. If you're one of those people that like your steak rare, of course you're going to cook it less time. Okay? But if you like it well done, for those of us who like our meat well done or medium well, that means it can be achieved. You just have to cook it lower and slower, okay? You can't do the fast grill thinking it's going to get to the point where you want it, because then it's just going to burn on the outside, and then you're going to have a raw inside. Okay? That's one. I'm going to go down with the second one. Now when I'm cooking certain things, I have to watch the time. So if you have a timer in your kitchen or a clock on your stove, be mindful of the time so you'll know. Now on the first side, we're going to cook it about 8 or 9 minutes. So I'm looking at the clock now, and then I'll know when I turn it over, then it's going to go in a 300-degree oven for about another 8 or 9 minutes. And then I'm going to take it out and let the meat rest, okay? We're going to turn our steaks over now because it's time to put them in the oven. Just for a few minutes. Just take them and put them on the top shelf for about, like I said, still about 7 or 8 minutes. And then we're going to let them rest. In the meantime, I hit the mushrooms really quickly with a couple of tablespoons of white wine, dry white wine. Nothing special, but it would be a white wine you want to drink. Did I say that right? White wine. Just a couple of tablespoons. And they're browned up really nicely. Let me go ahead and put about a quarter cup of cream in them. And then we'll get going on the rest of our steak and sides. So I've got a quarter cup. And I turn the heat down a little lower so the sauce will reduce down a little bit.